This video is going to go over creating the belly cut and the 45-degree chamfer around the back of the guitar. If I quickly zoom in, you can see what I'm talking about here. It's pretty much all done through the network surface again, except for the tips of the horns, which are done with the single rail sweep. So to start out, I've got a basic outline of guitar, which has been mirrored, so we're working on the back. I did a quick video on how I go about drawing these. All you've really got to worry about is having a very little amount of control points, so it's going to be easy to manipulate them for the back carve. So basically, to start with, I'm going to lay out the curves for the chamfer itself. I know that my chamfer is a 45 degree, I know that it's going in by 8mm, and I know that it's going down by 8mm, but because I'm cutting this with a ball mill, I want to overlap the edge a little bit so it doesn't leave a lip. So I'll be going in 8mm, but I'll also be offsetting out by 1mm and down by 9. That maintains the 45-degree angle, and when the cutter then does a profile cut, it will trim it back down to its true measurements. I'm going to start off by doing my offset of that shape, 8mm inwards. So this is our inside curve basically. And from this, I'm going to do 2 single points where I want the belly cut to intersect with the body. I can split this curve now with these 2 points. Next, I'm going to use a polyline on the ends of this so I can create basically 2 reference lines to draw tangencies from them. So I'm going to select the end of this curve, and I'm going to make sure it says on tangent, as you can see on the screen now. I'm going to do exactly the same for the other side. So you get two options. You get on ortho or on tangent, and for this one you want on tangent. Next, what I'm going to do is draw a very basic belly cut using the control point curve. I'm going to start it from this end. My first point is going to be on tangent, or on this on tangent line basically. And then what I really need is 3 to 5 points, I suppose. Then make sure one of them is again on tangent and the last one is on the end. Now I've got this, I can turn my points on and start playing around with it until it's nice. Once I've done that, I can now delete these 2 reference lines. My next stage is to create the depth of the belly cut, or basically the side view of the belly cut. To do that, I'm going to take the original outline and I'm going to create a copy vertically down by my 9mm. I can now start to manipulate this side using the control points. Just to make this a little easier, I'm going to create a polyline from the end perpendicular onto the new line that we've just drawn. Now with a good view from all 4 planes, you can start manipulating the side curve we've generated. To do this, I'm going to turn my control points on. 2 things: you want to make sure that ortho is on, and you want to make sure that planar is on. So you're going to select either 1 or 2 points that are in the middle basically. We're now going to move that down however much you want them to go. Make sure that you select vertical. I'm doing minus 16 in my case. Now once you've got this, you can go down to whatever view kind of helps you. I'm using the front. And I'm just going to play with this point and this point. What you want to make sure when you're playing with this is it doesn't look any different in the top view. You only want to be changing the curve in one plane, which is the lower one. Now I can turn our points off, and I'm gonna now offset this by 1mm outwards, and I can delete that original. I'm just deleting those two lines because I'm going to redraw them now, mating on the new curve that we've just drawn. I'm going to make sure it's perpendicular. I'm now going to generate the belly cut itself using a network surface command, and to do that I've got to split this with these two quickly. Now I can use these 4 sections in a network surface to create my belly cut. Next, I'm going to continue the network surface all the way around for the chamfer. I'm going to quickly sort out a couple of these lines. I need to draw polylines from the tip perpendicular down to the side, just like this. Now I can split these two with the 2 lines that we've just drawn, just to break everything up into its individual sections. I'm also going to create an extra section here because the radius changes drastically, and I don't want there to be a chance of it messing the network surface up. Now I can go ahead and start doing the network surfaces and kind of just patching everything together. Now the last thing is to do the tips of the horns, and for that I'm going to be using the single rail sweep. Sweep 1 rail, this is my rail, and now this is my cross section. I'm going to repeat that for the other one as well, just like that. Now we have like 2 wings basically. I'm going to select them both, do a trim command, and get rid of those 2 sides. Now I have a nice little tip. I'm going to repeat that for this horn. Then we can trim them again and create the ends of our horns. just to clear the screen up a bit, I'm going to get rid of my initial curves, just so you can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to analyze the surface quickly, just so you can kind of see how the curves work. Now my shapes aren't terribly great in this, it was just a really quick demonstration of how it's done. I'll give you a quick example of the ones I've done properly over here. Going to analyze the surface quickly. I actually quite like the gold or the fluorescent ones for analyzing curves. But as you can see, you can get some pretty good results.